causes like family trauma sometimes, like the questions that were asked during the holidays. And some people may not want to go to holiday parties because they want to refrain from these questions.
So send this out to your family members as a PSA before you attend any event this holiday season. Look at this podcast before you come, because I don't want to tussle with you. Okay, I don't want to tussle with you on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't want to repeat cycle.
Hi, I'm Crystal Vega.
Hi, I'm Amanda Booz.
And this is Elevators Podcast,
where we talk about the peaks and valleys of life's journeys, from relationships, friendships, entrepreneurship. We talk about it all on this show, and we give you a little taste of social media sizzling hot topics, all from the lens of modern womanhood.
How are you?
I am doing great, girl, because guess what?
Halloween is past us.
And it's time. Wait. All right, that's it.
All right, cut it.
We don't want to have no issues with the show. We don't want Mariah asking for no money because this is about her coin. Do you know that she's made... the song came out in 1994. We were babies, literally babies at that time. She's made over $60 million in royalties off of one single song.
Good for her, because that song is fire.
It never gets old. I can listen to Mariah's album all day long when it comes to the holidays. I started playing my Christmas songs today. I am in the spirit.
I was just about to say, if you're not in the spirit, that's the song you need to listen to get in the spirit for the holiday season.
Yes, that is definitely one of them. What are some of your holiday songs? What are some albums or some songs that you listen to during the Christmas season?
Well, I don't listen to like Christmas songs in general. I honestly want to say, like, Mariah's probably the only Christmas song I actually listen to. But, like, in my house, I'd be listening to jazz in general, like, to keep my nerves calm. But I never realized how, like, jazz music is, like, tied to, like, Christmas and stuff. So, like, maybe this Christmas season I'll implement a little more jazz.
Like a Christmas jazz station.
Yeah,
that would be dope. You gotta definitely look that up. My mom is a little old school, so she still has all of her CDs, and she has a CD player somewhere in our home.
I love that.
So she's playing it, like, throughout the season. Like, when you go to my mom's house for the Christmas season, like, she's got the 98 Degrees Christmas album, the NSYNC Christmas album, Mariah Carey, Vanessa Williams, Brian McKnight, John Legend. She has all the Christmas albums. Boyz II Men.
Listen, as soon as Halloween's over, I'm putting on my Christmas hat, honey.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not 100% in the spirit yet, but once my tree go up,
it's done.
It's on, like, Donkey Kong.
It's done. You know what? I'm usually more like a December Christmas person. Well, I love Christmas period, but I'm more of like after Thanksgiving through December Christmas person. But I feel like we've all had, like, I've just been seeing so much this week, and everybody's just, like, having so many feelings about what's going on in our world today with just the politics and all that. Not to get too much into it, because I've been seeing so many, like, negative comments, and just people are sad and hurt that I feel like even more now we should embrace the Christmas season and the holiday season, because I feel like Christmas just brings joy.
Do you decorate your home?
Yes. Okay. I, like, love
Me too.
decorating.
I'm a big decorator.
Yeah.
I like to think I am, but do I actually get it done most of the time? No.
But
like,
you will now.
The most I'll do is my tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year I might do a little more like my tree, my dining table, and like figure out what else I can do. But I'm ready to put my tree up, honey. I put my tree up before Thanksgiving.
You think before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
I agree.
I put my tree up before Thanksgiving, and I take it down sometime in mid-January, late January. When do you put your tree up?
So I say the tree should go up now. I'm more of like a second week to November, third week of November kind of person. Before, it would be literally the day after Thanksgiving. But now I feel like Christmas comes and goes so quickly. I'm like, we need the tree up right now. Like, the tree needs to be up for a few months. But I'm not with you on in the middle of January. I feel like come after the new year, like, because, like, New Year's, you got to clean that house from top to bottom, spick and span. The tree also has to be wrapped up at that time. What do you think? Do you feel like Christmas trees should be up past January 10th? What is the window? What is the start and end window for Christmas trees? I would love to know. If you're going into Valentine's Day and that tree is up,
that's crazy.
We got a problem.
That to me is crazy.
And that includes house lights. There are people who still have their Christmas tree lights up or house lights up in their home. That's lazy. Y'all take them lights down and put them back up.
There are definitely,
lazy.
Yes, there are definitely houses in my neighborhood that had their Christmas tree light, like Christmas lights on their house, like mid-year. Almost like evening lights. I'm like, that's crazy.
They said they want Christmas all year round. Listen.
Right, I feel it.
They said we're like the Hallmark Channel, Christmas in July.
I feel that. So I would put my Christmas tree up like right before Thanksgiving, and then I would take it down like mid-January.
Are you a themed Christmas tree person, or do you feel like Christmas tree should be whatever you feel for the year? Like, it can be anything.
It depends my vibe of the year, but also I'm like, can we bring ugly Christmas trees back?
Yes, I feel like they're
Like,
so aesthetically like
pleasing. Like, can we just bring like mix matched trees back?
I agree. And I think it just gives character to trees. So like my mom's Christmas trees is definitely not an aesthetically pleasing tree. And what I mean by that is no ornament matches. Of course, you have your greens, your reds, like the Christmas colors, of course. But like every year I look for my ornament. Like I have baby ornaments of like when I like 1994, 1990. I'm like, where's my
so
ornaments?
cute.
I want my ornaments on the tree. I'm a grown woman, but I want my Christmas ornaments on the tree.
No, that's cute. I feel like that's what it's all about, and not in no shade to like anybody who prefers an aesthetically pleasing
they look cute.
tree.
They
that's
look cute.
Great. But like if I had a big enough home, I would put like both. I'd put like one aesthetically pleasing and then one that's
I would
just
have
like
multiple.
really ugly.
I feel like
Yeah,
when
I would put multiple trees in my house.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I would have like multiple trees in my home. So do you feel like the pressures of like starting traditions now?
Yes. Girl, this whole year, I'm like, I am an adult. I keep having to tell myself, I am an adult, okay? And these kids look at me like I'm an adult. And yeah, I definitely feel the pressures of like starting my own traditions, but also like keeping up with family traditions. And like we don't have like too many in my family, but there's just certain things that we do, especially like being Puerto Rican, that we make pateles leading up to Thanksgiving. We make coquito leading up to Thanksgiving. Pernil, like things like that. Like we do a lot of like cooking and stuff together prior to Thanksgiving, and then we keep that going throughout the holiday season until like Christmas and a little bit of New Year's.
Same with me, right? So like my parents are from the islands. Like we have rum cake, Jamaican rum cake. We have cremas, you know, because my dad's Haitian side or whatever. But we always have that type of stuff. But I'm saying like us in our like 30s as women, do we like feel the pressures of having to start our own traditions, or are you starting your own traditions? Like outside of what you've done as like growing up with your family?
I feel the pressure of continuing traditions, not so much starting my own, because the things that we did was like cool enough for me.
Because now they're coming to your house for Thanksgiving.
They sure
and
are.
Christmas and stuff.
They
So
sure
like,
are.
what?
They coming down
let me
south
see,
for the
Let
sun.
me see if what we taught you implementing.
Right. And all I've implemented is the food and the cooking. Okay, honey, that's
something.
it.
That's
Literally on Christmas Eve, so my family celebrates Christmas Eve, and like when my grandmother was alive, they would make us dance coming from like the second floor down to the bottom for our gifts. So everybody had to dance coming down the steps one by one. And like to me, there's no better tradition than that. So I'm like,
you had to
I don't
do
really
your own
need
dance?
Yeah, you got to dance for your gifts, honey. You had to work for them.
Y'all had to work for the That's cute.
It is. So I'm like, there's nothing that's gonna beat that.
You have to do that.
I know when I get 2 stories.
But you could do it one story. Come from outside and inside. Let me see the dance.
Show us what you got.
Show us what you got. If this present was worth it or not. I love that. I feel the same way. So for me, I feel like there's certain things I will keep, but then there's things that I feel like I'm bringing like traditions to, you know, like my family and things that I want to do.
Like
one
what?
is like matching pajamas. Like I love
Oh,
matching.
yes.
I love matching pajamas. Like that's one of my favorite things. Like cooking, baking gingerbread houses with my like little brother and little sister. But I'm like so looking forward to starting new traditions with my own family. Like, I'm like, I can't wait. I'm like, every year, I'm like, I can't wait to be in the house with my kids and we doing this, that, and the third. Like, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to be just coming up with new stuff, like, for no reason. Like, I'm really going to be coming up with new stuff.
I could definitely see you doing that. But I'm into it. I want to do like gingerbread houses and stuff. Like I'm really into that kind of stuff.
You're gonna put an elf in your house? What is it? The elf?
That I would not. I cannot keep up with.
I can't keep up. I don't know how
Elf on the Shelf.
I don't know how people keep up with Elf on the Shelf.
Shout out to the parents that keep up with Elf on the Shelf.
And I've seen some crazy Elf on the Shelves.
Wow,
crazy
dedication.
See, in my house,
I aspire to be that much of a dedicated parent.
Are you okay? I have a good question. Are you going to be the kind of parent that you allow your child to know Santa is real or is not real? Are you going? Ooh. What are you going to do?
It depends on my kid. If my kid believes in Santa, then Santa's real. If my kid's like, girl, because my kid will be my kid and might be like, be for real.
We don't got a chimney. We don't got. We
right.
have a chimney. We don't got a chimney.
If my kids say be for real, I'm gonna be for real. But if they say, oh, like Santa's gonna bring blah blah blah, then Santa will be bringing it.
So what age do you feel like is the cutoff for Santa? If just for in general, like what age do you think like, all right, you 13, now you gotta know that you gotta know it's not Santa Claus and it's your parents' hard-earned dollars.
Yeah, I would think like 13, 14 maybe.
Yeah, that's a good age.
And that seems a little late too. Maybe like 10.
I agree.
11, maybe 12.
I agree.
All right, baby.
I agree.
You preteen now.
But listen, I don't think it's ever too old to start a Christmas list because I'm gonna have one
Every year.
Every year.
Every
Gotta
year.
write a list.
I'm gonna roll it out like toilet paper, honey. I want.
This is what I want.
But for the people who are like feeling pressure in general going into this holiday season, I want to give them some advice. Like whether they're feeling pressure about like going to holiday events, single, married, newly single. Like I feel like we have some listeners who need a little bit of advice on how to navigate the tough conversations that they're going to expect this holiday season.
I agree. Because there's so many. Oh, my gosh. There's a lot. I agree. I think it's going to be really good. I like this. Ooh, I like this topic. I like this.
So what advice would you give to someone who feels like something is missing this holiday season?
I feel like, in general, I try to be a glass half full kind of person and not half empty. So I feel like in any circumstance, no matter what something looks like to you, I just always think about how it's always worse for somebody else. You know what I mean? I feel like we always look at life like, dang, I don't have this, or like, I don't have the family I want for Christmas, or, you know, I may be spending Christmas alone, but you're spending Christmas in a home. You know what I mean? You're spending Christmas and you have food on the table. You're spending Christmas and you have money in your pocket. Like, I feel like there's circumstances where it can always be worse. So I feel like we always have to kind of move with a space of, like, gratitude and be grateful for things we have. Because I'm like, you never know, like, when you're in a situation where you don't have it. So I feel like for someone who may be experiencing Christmas and it may not look, or the holiday season, like you want it to look, things are temporary. You know, storms come and storms pass. And, you know, the sun will come out. Not to be so cliche with it, but, like, things will get better. It's just, you know, right now it might not be the best season, but just always remember it can be worse than what it is.
I agree. I love that. I think there's always a silver lining in things, and depending on your situation, you have to find that silver lining. I also feel like, especially like when it comes to feeling like pressure about being married or not being married, or newly single once again, whatever that might look like, especially when it comes to like companionship that you might not be bringing to these events, I just feel like don't sweat it. Like avoid those type of conversations if that's the case, if that's like your issue, but literally don't sweat it. I feel like when you sweat the fact that you don't have companionship in some sort of way, it almost like pushes it away from you versus just living your life, enjoying yourself, doing you, and it'll just come to you, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So let's talk about the unhinged questions that people might be asked during this holiday season, just so we can mentally prepare ourselves. Like, how's that little business going?
Hey elevators, this episode is brought to you by Ford. You know we love dropping gems on ways to elevate in life, so we had to take a moment to talk about why being open to new roads is so crucial when chasing your goals.
See, because when you're on a journey to elevate your life, staying flexible and ready to adapt can unlock amazing new opportunities you could have never imagined. It's all about finding the freedom to change course.
So if you're feeling the vibe to break out of your usual routine and reroute your journey, lean into it. Reinventing yourself is such a powerful way to live more fully and get the most out of every moment.
On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that gives us a sense of stability, like the new Explorer.
Turn up the adventure with Ford digital experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen where you can always watch the latest episode of Elevators. Don't forget who put y'all on.
Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility 1946 current U.S. total new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford. Well, you know what it is. It's all in the name. The new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud. So let's talk about the unhinged questions that people might be asked during this holiday season, just so we can mentally prepare ourselves. Like, how's that little business going?
Or who did you vote for?
Right. So we really want to help y'all navigate those conversations and rise above it and bow out gracefully. So we're going to give y'all a couple of unhinged questions as examples. And Amanda and I are both going to tell you how we would navigate that question. So,
and by the way, this will be advice. You don't have to take it. You can literally just, take it with a grain of salt. But this is just how we would approach it as we're thinking about elevating and being in the next dimension of who you want to be and operating from your higher self. There's a way that you could just, give a little class to how you don't react.
Right, or how you do react. So I'm gonna react, honey. Okay, first question. You go.
All right, first question. Let's start with that. Who did you vote for?
I'm here to have a good time this holiday season. I just don't think politics is a topic of conversation for the evening. What would you say?
I like that. I feel like I would say it's a personal decision, and I think it's one of those things that we can agree and disagree, but I think that we're here to celebrate the happy things that are happening in life, and I would rather not cause any tension in this moment based on the decisions I decided to make for myself. But I think that we can all come together and just have our differences, but then come together and have a good time.
Let's just have some coquito and pernil, and that's
cheers
it.
to that.
And have a good night.
That's it.
Because you just never know who did what, who has a perspective on what, and honestly, like sometimes it's just not the place. There's a time and a place for everything.
Let's agree to disagree.
Right? And exactly. That's the answer.
That's it. We're gonna agree to disagree, and that's it.
Done.
But
okay.
I'm also watching.
Right. But okay, so. What about, where's your man or your girl?
HBCUs, they're more than just schools, right? They're where we learn, grow, and build. It's a place where we're free to be ourselves, innovate, and live our best lives while chasing those dreams, and yes, securing that bag. But the journey to success is not always easy. That's why Walmart is here for you every step of the way. From late night study sessions to game day celebration, Walmart's got your back, helping you manifest those big, audacious dreams. Whether you're starting a business, climbing the career ladder, or figuring it all out, Walmart is here supporting Black excellence at HBCUs. At the end of the day, your hustle, your creativity, and your journey matter. Walmart, we're all about empowering you with the spark to keep pushing forward. So let's get to it together. Learn more about how we are amplifying your story at walmart.com/blackandunlimited. It's your journey, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Where's your man or your girl?
Oh my goodness. Don't we get this question so many times from nosy family members? Well, if I'm arriving with that person, I'll be like, grabbing my plate. No, I'm just playing.
Period.
Or I'm making his plate. More than likely making his plate. But I'm going to approach this if I did or if I didn't. First, I think would be more or less if I did not or do not have someone significant other to bring to an event. I'm going to say, at this current moment, I'm working on myself. I'm working on, just my goals and things that I have set forth. And that will come along. I'm praying for it. I'm hoping for it, but I'm not letting it interfere with my daily life. I'm not letting it consume me. And if that person doesn't have a man, I may ask, where's yours?
That was a very PC answer, because I'm very much like, well, is he here? No, exactly.
Listen, what's so funny about this question is I have an aunt who I love. We all have that aunt, right? And I have an aunt who I love, and I feel like she always tells me, like, I remind her of a younger version of herself. Mm-hmm. So she'll always come to me, and, like, my family, I'm really close to, like, the Haitian side of my family. So they don't call me Mandy, they call me Mundy. So she'll be like, Mundy, what's going on? Where's it? So this is last year. She literally asked me this last year. 2 years ago, Thanksgiving, sorry. I had to think about it. And she's like, so what's going on? You don't have a boyfriend? Like, you don't have a husband? What's happening? And I said to her, no, not yet. She's like, it's because you're too picky. You're like me, you're picky. And I was like, well, if you're so picky, why don't you have one? Period. And she was like in shock almost that I said that. And she kind of laughed it off. But I'm like, don't ask me those questions.
No, because
it's like, they'll be like, and then I love the family members that come to Thanksgiving and they're like, you haven't called me. It's my birthday. You don't check on me. And I'm like, well, it was my birthday. You didn't call me to check on me. Like,
Right.
I know in Caribbean families, like, we have to more so, like, you know, kind of take, like, the higher road and, like.
Cradle adults.
Yeah, but I'm like, we're all adults here. Like, we both got to reach out and do the phone time thing. Like, sometimes it's not that you're out of sight or out of mind, but we're all going through life in our own ways. That it's sometimes we forget, you know, we may fall short. But also, you could, you know, pick up where I left off or, like.
Yeah. And honestly, some questions, if you ask me, don't deserve a graceful answer. And that might be one of them, honey. Okay, next question.
All right, next one. Why aren't you married yet?
Oh, this is such a shady question. But this is another one where I'm like, I don't have a PC
Like, how do you answer that?
You know, if I had to give a politically correct, graceful answer, I would say something along the lines of like, I'm not focused on that right now. Times are a little different from back in your day, so I'm not in a rush to get married.
The times are a lot different from back in your day is like the most polite shade
that you gonna get out of me.
Times are a lot different from back in your day. It's facts.
No, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Have you seen the economy we're in? And you talk about marriage?
Like,
I'm trying to get my life together.
I'm like, we're so goal driven right now that sometimes that is the case. I love that response. I think for me, I would be like, you know, I'm praying about it and I'm letting God do his thing. Like, we cannot dictate when life events happen.
You're so
That's
sweet.
a man's decision. Like, I'd marry myself if I could. I promise. Like, I'd go get a ring tomorrow if I could. But because
you deserve it, honey.
And we all do, but that's not how it works. So, and also, share this with a family member or a friend that may be in the midst of asking these types of questions. Because also, I think that people mean it with love, but they don't realize where it comes from. That causes trauma. Like, it causes, like, family trauma sometimes, like, the questions that were asked during the holidays. And some people may not want to go to holiday parties because they want to refrain from these questions.
So send this out to your family members as a PSA before you attend any event this holiday season. Look at this podcast before you come, because I don't want to tussle with you. Okay? I don't want to tussle with you on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't want to repeat cycles.
Okay, so how about this one? When are you going to have kids?
Another one. When are you going to have kids? When are you going to mind your business? No, seriously. Because, like, that's such a sensitive topic. And I think to double that, don't ask women if they're pregnant at a dinner table. Don't ask women if they're pregnant because they may have gained a little weight or they may have lost a little weight or like, oh, what's going on? Are you okay? I think it's the most brutest, and I don't even know if that's the best word or if that even word, whatever. I don't want y'all eating me up in the comments.
Brutus.
Don't be eating me up in the
I like that.
But I think it's so rude and like not tasteful to ask questions if someone doesn't openly share them with you. Like if someone doesn't say, hey, I'm in the process of trying to have a kid, and you're like, oh, how's that process going? Like, you don't know what someone's reproductive system is going through. Like, so I think it's always best to refrain from that. And you don't even know if people want kids. Sometimes people don't want to have kids and y'all asking them that question.
Yeah, honestly, that to me, my answer would be, that's a really personal question, and you don't even know if I can have kids.
That would hurt me. If someone said that to me, I would go under the table.
My answer?
No. If
somebody asked you that?
If I asked someone when they're going to have kids and that's how they replied to me, I would be like, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to meet y'all later. Like, I would feel so hurt.
You should go under the table.
A question should make someone, like, rethink. And that's always a rule of thumb.
But that's how I personally would answer it. Again, this is just our advice. You're more than welcome to do what you want, do what you please with this information. But I just feel like certain questions like that, sometimes people need to realize that it's like completely overstepping. And I learned that at a very young age. Like, not very young, that was traumatic. But like, when I was like in my early 20s, I had came back from college and I had a like graduation party or whatever. Long story short, my family, we're very like Caribbean, so we like mess with each other all the time. And I had told my aunt like, oh, like, why you not drinking? You sick or something? Anyways, fast forward, she literally was sick, didn't realize that she was sick. And after that, like, she ended up passing away. And I was like, I will never say that to anybody again.
Yeah. And you
ever again.
And you weren't saying it like.
And I wasn't. I was just messing with her.
Way or anything like
that.
And
and she completely knew that I was messing with her. But I was like, I would never say that again.
Yeah.
Ever. And I'm like, damn, I feel like I talked it up. Like, it was a lot for me mentally. But yeah. So lesson learned.
Yeah.
We'll never do it again. And I think that people who ask those questions need to learn their lesson very quick.
And that's a big thing too. Sometimes we have to learn our own lessons. You know what I mean? Like, for situations to happen to be like, okay, let me take a step back. And then it teaches you not to repeat the same cycle. Some people are repeating these cycles, and that's kind of where we need to draw the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next question is, so how's work?
Work is good. Work is great. How's your work?
Yeah, I think this is a good question.
But this is a good, to me, I don't mind talking about work.
Yeah, and we're not going to say all questions are bad. We're just saying the questions that would come up. I think questions are good. And then I feel like if you're in a space where, let's say you don't have work and maybe like you just recently got laid off or furloughed, because a lot of the times at the end of the year, companies, they go through changes. And I think that if you choose to be vulnerable in that moment with your family or your friend, I think it's okay to say, how you may feel, because you never know. There may be opportunities also behind certain answers. So if someone says, how's work, and you may not have work, I would say, hey, there's been some shifts and changes right now. Things are not really going the best. And I'm actually looking for work. If you have any colleagues or anybody that you could connect me with in this line of whatever it is that you do, I would love to send you my resume, or I would love to get resume help. Like, you never know opportunities that can arise beyond that. So I think that's an innocent question. And I think it just all depends on how you choose to reply and how open you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to beat that answer. That was great. So next question.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
So what have you been up to these days?
So it depends on what I've been up to, but I would probably just be honest. Like, I am, having some fun with my brand new project, Elevators Podcast. I would love to share it with you. And if you can share it or text it or whatever you want to do, if you like an episode, share it, tell a friend, so on and so forth. But yeah, I think this question is good. Also, like the how's work. I feel like it's good to just, just have conversations and let people know what you have going on and things that you may want to share that you would want them to know. I think this is the opportunity to share those things, whether they're new projects or just different things that you have that you're working on. I like this one. It's innocent. However you want to answer it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is a good conversation starter just to kind of like catch up with your family too.
Yeah.
I feel like we are all very busy throughout the year, and like something like a how's work or like, so what you been up to is a great way to be like, well, so I've been working on this project, that project, or just like, girl, I have finally been binge watching XYZ on TV, So I think it's a great conversation starter. But I got another one for you. How's that little business going? Come on, I know you got it. Give us a PC response to this, politically correct.
How is that little business going? Is the most unhinged question you can ask anyone during the holiday season. First and foremost, nothing I do is little, boo-boo. Nothing I'm doing is little. Everything I'm doing is big. Even if it is starting out on a smaller scale. Notice I didn't say it's smaller scale, because it could scale up quick, okay?
Period.
I just think that little behind anything is the most disrespectful, shadiest thing you could ever say. How is the business going? The business is doing well, but it's going to be booming in a few. And also big yourself up, hype yourself up. Don't be afraid to speak in, be honest, but then you could also just, I think it's good to
manifest in that conversation.
Like, speak highly of it. My business is doing great. You know what I mean? Like, I think we have the power in our tongue to like speak the things we want. So even if things are a little shaky, don't let it be known in that sense, because I feel like you'll internalize it more, and it's something you'll overthink, and you'll be like, dang, I should have said this. Let's nip it in the bud first. Nothing is little. Everything is big.
Right. I think asking somebody how's that little business going is the most backhanded thing you could ask them, and that to you should say everything about that person that you need to know. That person is your hater.
Big hater.
Hater.
Families could be haters too.
Big hater. But yeah, I think that I would manifest in that conversation. It's going great. It might be doing 6 figures. You never know, but it's going great. I'm working on XYZ to happen. Or if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to share information until the ink dries, like me, I'm very big on, it's good. How's work for you? I love to flip the conversation.
That's good.
That's my favorite thing to do.
One-liners.
It's
good, period.
It's good. How about you?
I love that. How about you? How's your business going?
Right.
Or how's your job going? With kindness. Never treat people how they treat you, because I think it's definitely a lesson that they'll learn. Like, dang, I could try to say all these things and I'll never break that person. You got to seem unbreakable in these conversations. Yep. So I got a good one for you that I think is a very unhinged question. Are you gaining or losing weight? You look different. How would you answer that?
Well, that's one that my family love to do. But like, oh, you putting on a little weight, or oh, you look a little skinny. I'm like, You were just never satisfied. That's my response. You people are just never happy. No, honestly though, I'm noticing as we go through these questions, I have no graceful responses. But it's because that's just my family. Like we snap on each other. Like we go bar for bar.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you gaining weight. Oh, and you're not losing enough.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of family we got.
So you feel like you just gotta be quick with the punches.
You just
too.
gotta be quick with the
And you like,
punchlines.
"Damn,
You gotta be witty with your comebacks in my family. So I'm gonna sit this one out because
like you probably gonna laugh. You probably gonna laugh anyways.
yeah, honestly, if somebody told me that I'm gaining weight, I'll probably be like in the right places. You know,
Yeah,
like
something cute. Something keep it cute. Keep it cute.
right. I
like
keep
that.
it super cute. I really don't care.
Yeah. I think it's so funny because a lot of these questions are things that I feel like happen in like Caribbean and Black homes, like, and not for nothing, y'all. I really honestly feel like, and maybe it's all families, but I really genuinely feel like people don't necessarily mean this from like a bad place. I just don't think that they realize it's just not proper etiquette to ask these type of questions. But if someone asks me, "Oh, you're gaining weight or you're losing weight," I'm gonna be like, "It's my hormones."
That's
That's
honest.
that's an honest question, and it might be something that will hurt somebody's feelings too. Because it's like, I'm a woman, like
Yeah.
I'm going through hormonal ups and downs,
Give me a
especially
break.
in my 30s. Like, please. Or I might be like, on a weight gain. I'm lifting weight. I'm in the gym. I'm lifting weights.
I'm bulking
up. What about you?
Period. Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
How much are you making now?
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. So I didn't mean to react like that right away. Hold on one second. But it depends on who it's coming from, and it depends on the tone. Because one thing I will say about money as it relates to Black families and Caribbean families, I feel like a lot of us have been taught to not speak about money, and I hate that. Like, I feel like that's what I love about our generation. A lot of us are open about, girl, this job just booked me. How much did they pay you? My mom would clutch her pearls. She'd be like, "Oh my God, you never talk money." You know what I mean? Like, and I just think back in the day, they were taught to like never talk money. And there's families, I love families that are open about talking to money with their kids. I think it's important to know, you know, how the world goes round and what people make so that the kids could have things to aspire to. So, or you just know what is in the playing field for whatever industry you're in.
Absolutely.
I think money conversations are important. But again, I think it's who it's coming from. It's a family member that's always asking you for money. Be careful. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like who is it coming from, you know?
Yeah, it definitely needs some context. I agree with you. Honestly, you took the words right out of my mouth. I love talking about money. I'm happy to share what I'm making, what I'm not making, what I feel like I could be making, because to your previous point earlier, that person might have a better opportunity for you, depending who it is, where it's coming from. But also, yes, we have been taught that we shouldn't talk about money, but I feel like that has stemmed from employers in the past telling employees, hey, you're not supposed to talk about money, more so because that's the way to keep you down. That's the way for you to not know how much you should be making, or for you to not know what's out in the field, like what's the competitive rate for what you're doing right now. So I'm big on talking about money, and I don't mind that at all.
And ladies, have these conversations with the men in your family, because as women, we gotta up it up.
For sure. No, for real. And that's the only way that we're going to know if we're making enough or we're not making enough.
Lowballing yourself.
You have to have those conversations. I'm big on being open and transparent, of course, depending on who it is. Money.
It always depends on the source, for sure. All right, so I think another one is, why you not eating? Like, you okay? Why you not eating? Why aren't you eating meat? Or why aren't you eating fish? Or why aren't you drinking milk? Like, and this is for like my pescatarians, my vegans, you know, people who are doing lifestyle changes as it relates to food. I feel like sometimes, especially just coming from a career. Well, first let me say how I would answer it. I would say, hey, I just, you know, I don't have a taste for that anymore. That I'm deciding to eat this. You know, nothing against it. You know, feel free to try it. But I don't currently want to, you know, consume that, because I'm just, you know, I'm changing my diet, or I'm not eating meat. And I think it's okay if you want to tell people you're refraining for eating certain things if you choose to, for whether it be religious reasons or whatever the case may be. But I think that a lot of times people say this because certain family members may feel a way if you don't eat their dish that they brought. Right.
Yeah, their food. Yep.
Because there are certain dishes I'm not touching. I'm sorry. But who made them deviled eggs? Who made the mac and cheese? Like, that's another topic about who made what. But I think it's okay to say I'm not eating because I choose not to eat it. Like, I'm grown. I'm not a kid no more. Back in the day, they make your plate. You got to eat it. You can't get it from this table
Till you finish your plate.
I
Right.
make my own plate. I
Right.
don't want it.
No, you know what? I tried to pull that one year where I was like, I'm not eating pork anymore. My mom was fake trying to support me, and my grandfather was like, what? You're not going to eat this pig meat? And I was like, I'm not eating that anymore. I only lasted a couple months doing it anyways. He seen right through me, and maybe that was the problem.
He was like,
girl,
you like to eat
cut
this.
it out.
I need to try pending. I don't think I've ever
But
tried
yeah, I feel like simply saying, like, yeah, I'm not eating that right now. That's it. I'm changing my eating habits. Changing my relationship with food.
Ooh.
That's what I've been trying to personally
Portion
do.
control.
Yeah. Changing how you see food, you know? So that's a different topic. We can talk about that.
We're going to talk about that next.
But yeah, so I think those are like a lot of unhinged questions people are gonna hear this season.
And some tasteful ones.
Some tasteful ones. Some unhinged questions. Either way though, I feel like we gave people a good base to start with on how they can navigate those tough conversations or maybe just light conversations this holiday season.
I agree. Now, out of all of the unhinged questions that we mentioned, tap in on the socials. Let us know what is your least favorite unhinged question that you know is going to come up. Which one is it?
Mine is definitely that little business. Don't ask me that. That's rude.
Mine is definitely...
That's rude.
Mine is definitely why aren't you married yet and why you don't have kids. Those two are at the top of my list. And if those questions come up, I am walking away.
So how are you avoiding holiday burnout this season?
Well, I'm doing a couple things. I feel like holiday burnout, sometimes it's inevitable, but let's be honest, we can actually we could prevent it. Like, I'm not last minute shopping this year. I promise you I'm not. And I do not like the feeling and the anxiousness that comes with trying to shop for family members and loved ones in the 9th hour of the holiday season. I'm going to start this month. You know what I mean? I really want to start shopping ahead. And thank God we have things like Amazon and places that you could do Target pickup. You know what I mean? You don't even have to be in the stores and be around the madness. But for me, one, it's going to be definitely planning and preparation in advance. Two, it's going to be making sure I have me time. I have self-care time. And I just thought about our episode with Casey. If you haven't seen Casey's episode, make sure you check it out. But I love when she said self-care is not what we, have imagined it to be about going to the spa. It could be you literally on the phone with your best friend and just venting, or you writing in your journal, or you going and eating at your favorite restaurant. Whatever that self-care is for you, find time throughout this holiday season to do it, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So those are two that come to mind for me. What about you?
I feel like the best way to avoid holiday burnout is don't overextend yourself.
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. Don't overextend yourself. Don't agree to go to every single holiday event that's happening or Friendsgiving that's happening. Really know your limits and balance between work and play. Because sometimes during the holiday season, play could obviously overpower work, and then that makes you feel anxiety throughout the week. Oh, I'm behind on this, I'm behind on that. So really just balancing yourself, saying no to things. Say no. If you can't do it this holiday season mentally, just say no. And definitely no procrastinating. Procrastinating during the holiday season is literally a recipe for disaster.
Okay, so I have to know this. Are there any weird holiday traditions that your family or that you practice every year? Is there something that you have to do, and if you don't do this particular thing, that everything's out of order? What are some weird traditions that you know of or that you've heard of that you've practiced for your holidays?
For me and my family personally, it's cleaning the house top to bottom, every single corner prior to New Year's Eve. It's wearing red underwear or anything red on New Year's Eve when the ball drops. Putting money in your pocket when the ball drops. Yes, you have to have cash in your pocket. So you go into the new year with money in your pocket.
I love that.
And then one that I heard that's absolutely crazy that my family does not practice is eating 12 grapes under the table, or 12 grapes in general leading up to New Year's Eve. We do not do that, but that is ludicrous and hilarious all at the same time.
I've heard of the grapes. Oh my goodness. Okay, ones that I've heard of is And I'm not saying that we specifically do this, but I've heard some stuff. I would say also a tradition that we do. It's not a weird tradition, but like we drink, like you said, like you have coquito, we drink cremas. Like, you know, that's just like a traditional thing that we do, or have like a little rum cake or something. But I feel like a lot of families eat black eyed peas. Like a lot of Caribbean and black families eat black eyed peas during the holidays, whether it be I think it's the New Year's and Christmas time. Another one I've been hearing is like wearing red.
Yeah. You've never heard of that?
I've been hearing that, like wearing red for good luck. I don't know where it came from, but wearing red.
I think it's a Chinese tradition. I could be wrong though.
Okay, well I've heard, and I know you mentioned cleaning, like New Year's cleaning. I don't know,
it's
but
spring.
also
It's the real spring cleaning.
It's really it may be a tradition, but I think that's just the thing to do. Like going into the New Year with a fresh home, like a clean home, a clean space, is definitely good. This is something I've been seeing on TikTok. I don't know if you guys believe in it, but the cinnamon. Have you heard of the cinnamon?
I have.
At the start of every month? I don't know.
I don't know about the month, but I've heard of it like New Year's Eve.
It sounds a little witchcraft to me.
Yeah, I've heard of it for like New Year's Eve.
I'm putting
it's giving
It's
giving brujeria for sure.
I don't like it.
I don't like that. But if you guys have any crazy or like out of the ordinary family traditions, let us know in the comments. I would love to know what else everybody's out there practicing during the holiday season.
I agree. Yo, this was so much fun.
This was so fun.
I hope that we have helped y'all think about how you're gonna go to your dinner table very poised with your head held high. Like, I am here, I am positive, I'm ready to eat and have a good time.
Right.
But no, this was really fun. And, you know, best of luck with you guys as you're planning your holiday season and getting ready to enjoy time with your fam. And make sure if y'all ain't got nothing to do, you put on that YouTube, you put on that podcast, and you play Elevators. I think we're a good background, a good soundtrack.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget to
We're a good binge.
send this episode to your unhinged family members who need some schooling before Thanksgiving, okay?
That's right. Thank you guys so much for watching Elevators Podcast. And before we go, we have a special announcement. We're going to be at Hampton University.
So, HU, make sure you guys pull up on us this Wednesday, November 13th. We're so excited to meet you guys in person.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.